Southern California, they have trucks that drive super trucks,
Yeah.
super
yeah.
trucks.
Yeah, back trucks and sweepers. I had one. I used one for 10 years.
And they do a lot of, I think there's one park up at Hudson too, at Home Depot.
Probably.
They park in that park.
Right.
But I always thought about buying one of them.
Well, you just got to keep maintenance on them.
And just,
They work. They work to an extent. It's like the boss would tell you. Everything has its place. A vac truck has its place for doing shopping centers, where you've got it clean. Now you're just doing weekly, bi-weekly, every 2 weeks, or monthly. When you go in and you blow out the sidewalks with cigarette butts and stuff, and you run the curb lines, and and it's quick cleanup. A lot of guys have them vac trucks for that.
Is there money in it?
Depends on how much business you get, what kind of cutthroat you want. There's a lot of people that come and go in that part. Yeah. Because how much are you? How much is the other guy willing to just like
snowplow?
Yep. Well, I got a snowplow. I'll do it for $10.
Right.
Well, does $10 does it pay for the time to drive there, the fuel? You've been in business. You know that everything has a cost. So are you going to give it away just to have it?
Right.
Or I mean, I've had a plow truck for over 20 years, but my boss plows also. So hard for me to have customers when I'm plowing for him.
Right.
Well, the customers that I do have know that I plow for him, and they're okay. It's not a lot, but they know I'll do a great job when I get to it. And it's not next week, but it won't be when the snow is coming down, because they'll know I've been working. I've worked anything up to a 36-hour shift working for my boss plowing. If you plow, you just keep going until you can't go no more. You get some sleep and you keep going.
I got a truck too. I mean, I don't plow for everybody.
Yeah.
Because the only reason I don't is because I don't.
Well, you get tied down to you have to be when it snows. You got to be there.
And my truck's old.
Yeah.
So something breaks.
Yeah.
It might be broke down for a week, and I can't get somebody who wants to drive it.
Right.
I'm not going to do it.
Right. Well, and that's it. Like my boss, he's got all new stuff.
Yeah.
But he can justify it between the money that he makes and the sweeping, all season long. The plow trucks are parked there, and they use them for service vehicles. In other words, when guys go do labor and stuff, they have the plows are off in the summertime, and you got fuel tanks in the back, and so if you go out on a sweeping job, if it's an out-of-towner, you got fuel in the bulk tank, and you take to the service truck, because that way you got because it depends on if you got. See, I've been in spots where there ain't no diesel. You're out in no man's land, and the closest fuel stop is 25 miles away.
Right.
So you bring fuel with you. And then when you're done for the day and fueled out, you're going to go find a place to sleep. You got to drive. Well, when you get there, you find a diesel and you top your tanks off and make sure before you go back out the next morning that you got fuel with you, so that way,
Yeah. How long does it take to get, if you're doing like the road millers before that hopper spilled up? How long does it take?
Depends on how, on a standard thing, 100 feet.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You're gonna dump it.
Yeah. The hopper picks up and you dump right into a dump truck or a semi. Yeah, it's what you're doing is you're picking up because the mill picks up majority of it, but there's always stuff that's left. And that has to be completely cleaned before you can put the oil down and the tack down and hot oil and pave. So, and then depends on what you got. If it's a mill filler, if it's, they're just going to payment the next day or the day after or a week later. It depends on, because there's, you try to get it as clean as you possibly can, but you still got to go in all. That milling breaks up with traffic on it. The little edges and stuff, it just goes away. So then that's why you got to keep going over it and clean more and more. It's all done. But anyways.
Yeah, interesting. So it keeps it pretty. How many guys that work up there?
For us, we got 8 full-time. Well, one just retired, so he had 40 years doing it.
It'd be kind of boring after a while driving around if you're just cleaning the streets with me.
There's nothing boring about it. It's just like when people go, God, it'd be fun to plow snow.
No, it's not.
And I go, it is for the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And they go, well, what's it like sweeping? It's just like plowing. It's fun for the first 15 minutes. But it's repetition. You're repetitious. You do the same thing. Like I was training the secretary. She decided she was going to help out. We were short-handed. She goes, show me what you got to do. Okay. And I got her in there, and I said, okay, first thing you do is this. The second thing is this. Now you do the same thing all the time. You don't change your pattern. You put the conveyor on first, then you put this on, and then you put your PTO on, then you put your main room down, then you put your side room down. And but you're teaching her. Right. Well, it's just like anything else. Somebody show you how to tear a motor down the first time? Well, do the same thing over and over again. When you do it 100,000 times, then you know what you're doing without, you can almost not think about it.
I often wondered, they were doing out here last week or a couple weeks ago, they have dump truck parked on the pump. But normally when in the summertime, you don't see a dump truck.
Well, it depends on how much material's out there.
Right. That was obviously fall.
Yeah, right. Well, you get leaves when you got this much leaves on the gutter, it don't take long to fill up and you got to get rid of them, so you throw them in the truck. Then you stomp them down. And I got some guys that I work with, they're like, yeah, fill that, because we do shopping centers. And left the truck out there, and the guy goes, got 6 hoppers out. The thing was full. He couldn't get any more in. I go, how many? He goes, 6. I said, you're only half full. He's like, no. I said, you stamp them down? Oh, yeah. I go, look at it. No. So all you do, when you pick up your first hopper, you throw leaves in, and there's air there. So you spread them around and you walk on them. Yeah. When we were doing a city, I put on the same dump truck, I put 11 hoppers in it, and it was flush to the top of the boards. And the buddy that I was working with called him up and said, you said 6 was full. He said, we just put 11 in there. There's no way, he says. Oh, yeah. He put 11 hoppers. I watched him. But, you got to get out and actually, spread the stuff around and move it into all the corners and step it down constantly because you're getting air out and you're compressing the leaves. So
I think they do it out here because they sleep here a lot. Yeah. I think they just do it because that's the city job.
Well, they got that too.
So like on Friday afternoon, Fridays, they'll be sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
They don't want to be in the shop.
Oh, yeah. So, no, it's been doing it for 20 plus years. So, anyways, so you wouldn't be able to get to it until after the new year.
That'd probably be ideal. Yeah.
I'll get hold of you get back to you or whatever. So, alrighty.
I'm gonna get just bombarded here. We get some snow. Well, we had a busy week.
Yeah.
Last week. I've been doing this long enough. I know.
Yeah.
You get like in the fall, you get your people that want to maintain their stuff.
Yeah.
Ahead of time.
Yeah.
And then you get a lull. you get a bit of a lull, and then you get the people that wait to the last minute.
Yep.
And it's
Rush.
gosh.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah. We've got people that are still calling that want their parking lot swept. Yeah. The boss goes, yeah, I got people that want their parking lots. I said, so what about the snow that's on the parking lot?
super it up.
I told him, I said, my name ain't on the door. You tell me what you want.
Yeah.
You want me to go sweeping? I'll go sweeping. You know?
What do you do all winter besides
Yeah.
snow? Just
Well, we plow, haul, and salt, and he's got over close to 50 accounts across the metro for plowing.
Yeah.
So when that hits, it's everybody's on board plowing, and then when you get done, I go out and salt everything, and then when the salting is done, and then you wait, and then you have to haul all the snow.
oh,
Because a lot of the stuff, lots of the lots,
cities.
I don't have an area to keep the snow. Like we have state lots around the Capitol. There isn't any holding area there, so it's got to be. So say we plowed last night, it might be a skip today, but then the next night we'd be in hauling.
Yeah.
So he umpteen dump trucks with a payloader, and one guy's in a payloader, and then runs around, and then we got skiddies and all that stuff. That depends on what they're pulling off, because we got some parking ramps that they go in because they have to be low clearance with the concrete stuff for the parking ramps. So they go in there, and 4 or 5 of them will go in and dump everything off of the top of the parking ramp or anything else that they had plowed off, and dump it onto the ground, and then we pick it up with the payloader and stick it in the trucks and unhaul it to a dump site.
You know your way around the cities pretty well.
A little bit. Yeah, you learn. Like I told some young guys, I said, you got to retain this information. If you're going to stay working for them, you got to know where this stuff is at. There, the one guy went out, did a job, came back, got done, and I'm like, he pulled up and stopped right in front of me as I'm sweeping. So I drive up next to him and I go, what are you doing? He's got his phone on. And I go, he rolled the window down. What? I said, told you had to go back to the shop. Yeah, I'm looking it up.
Office directions.
I'm like, you just drove here from the shop. You didn't go any other place. You drove from the shop to the job site. How hard is it to retain the information to drive back to the shop?
Where's your shop at?
South St. Paul on Concord Street. But we were up in Plymouth at the time. Which, yeah, if you don't pay attention, you can easily get lost. Because I know I know it sounds crazy, but when I was a kid, I'm like, east and west, I'm like, why is there east E35 and E30, E35E and 35W? I said, 35 runs north and south, but it's an east and west of the metro. Just like I learned why there's a 394, a 94, a 494, a 694. That's just they're all 494, but it's just how the federal government puts them when they go through towns. So the 494 was the south number, 694 was the high number, and 394 was the one through the middle. So it's just how they code it. It's all part of 94. Just like 35 is 35 in Burnsville. Once you get above Burnsville, once you start getting on the north side, going after Lakeville into Burnsville, that's where the split is. Then you get the E and the W until you get to Forest Lake on the other side, because they split.
Is that getting any less crime up in South St. Paul? I haven't been up there. My sister used to live up there.
South St. Paul isn't as bad as all the other areas. we dealt with all that. I was out of town when the whole riot hit. I was out on a milling job